Now, President Erdoğan is on an official visit to the Gulf region, and Yusuf Bahadır Keskin is a professor at the Amasya University. He's joining us now to discuss the details of the visit. Good afternoon, Yusuf. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Good afternoon.
Now, Turkish President Erdoğan's tour of the Gulf region is well underway. Firstly, can you tell us about the specific investment deals that were signed between Turkey and Saudi Arabia, and how are they expected to benefit both countries?
Yes, 3 days, 3 countries, and many bilateral agreements between Turkey and some other Arab Gulf countries. Actually, relations between Turkish people and Arab region society is very deep-rooted and multidimensional. We can talk about strong social, cultural, economic, and even military relations with the Gulf states and Turkey. After the elections last month, President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has shifted his focus to foreign policy again, we can see. And Turkey has increased its interest in the region for many years, especially in the last quarter century. And in this context, Erdoğan is visiting the region once again. He started his tour with Saudi Arabia, and I think this is not a random choice, Saudi Arabia, because we all know that Saudi Arabia is the leader of the region in many ways, economic, political, militarily, and both states, Turkey and Saudi Arabia, have regional and international weight on politics, and both states are building blocks of security and stability in the Middle East. So this visit has a strategic importance. I also find this visit very valuable in restoring the period between 2015 and 2022 when Turkey and Saudi Arabia relations were seriously damaged by between Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Also, Saudi Arabia and the other 2 Gulf countries which Erdoğan will visit today and tomorrow have medium-term and political and economic visions, and they complement each other with Turkey. These countries are rich of oil, and Turkey has very diversified economy. Similar to this, Turkey's Minister of Trade Ömer Bolat also emphasized this issue, and we all know that Turkey is not in its best economic period. In this period, Gulf capital is crucial to recovering this process. Turkey also offers very serious investment opportunities for the oil revenues of these countries, especially in renewable energy, in defense industry, technology, construction, or logistics. Turkish entrepreneurs had the opportunity to get direct information about the Saudi Vision 2030 from the original sources. This is very important for me. Also, Erdoğan, while he was talking before his trip, drew attention to the increase in bilateral trade and upside targets. For the Gulf countries, the investments by Turkish private sector in Africa, in Middle East, attract the attention.
Okay, now you spoke about several sectors there in which the countries are tied and have strong relations in. I want to focus for a moment on the defense industry, where agreements were also signed in Jeddah last night. What's your analysis regarding that agreement, and in what ways do you believe that it will contribute to the strengthening of bilateral ties?
Actually, Saudi Arabia is an undeniable actor for any country that has geopolitical pursuits in the Middle East. The focus of the visit is economy, yes, we all know this, but political and military issues are also on Erdoğan's agenda. And also we have known for many years that the Saudi government, Saudi authorities are interested in Turkish weapons, especially armed unmanned aerial vehicles. And another Turkish company, Vestel, had previously sold UAV flights to the Saudi Arabia. Also, Saudi Arabia and Riyadh government need these weapons, especially in Yemen. And we know another thing, there is a strong Western embargo on arms to Saudi Arabia because of the operation in Yemen. In Erdogan's visit, there is another issue about defense industry, Baykar's agreement. Haluk Bayraktar talked to Turkish media and declared Baykar's agreement on the sale of Akıncı UAVs. This is the biggest agreement in the Turkish history, in the Turkish defense industry. So we know that Turkey is a critical partner for the Saudis, not only in drones, but also in other defense industries. The region is an attractive market for Turkish defense industry. And I think Erdogan will come back to Turkey with many agreements on this industry.
Okay. Now, Yusuf, lastly, Erdogan has said that the Gulf region is one of the most important actors globally. What measures or strategies do you believe can be used by the Turkish government to further expand economic cooperation and increase the number of mutually beneficial deals in the future?
Relations with Saudi Arabia and Turkey are rapidly being restored in this year, especially we can see. And Saudi Arabia is one of the most important actors in the region. This visit to the Gulf region by Erdogan has not only economic dimensions, but also political and military dimensions, I said before. I think this visit will bring some moves about the Syria and Turkey relations. The regime in Syria is returning to the political arena, especially in the Middle East. And we have seen this with their talks with Arab League. They are trying to join again. Erdogan, before his travel, Erdogan spoke constructively about talking and meeting with Syria and Bashar Assad. He made an analogy of not closing the door. Also made it clear that he's open to talk with Assad. This is very important for regional politics. But Erdogan added that Turkey would not leave northern Syria because of some security troubles. We know that Syrian government cannot protect the border. Also, Erdogan stressed the need for a fair approach. Another topic is Egypt. We all know that there are already positive steps between Turkey and Egypt. Ambassadors were reappointed last month, reassigned. The normalization of this process, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates will play an important role of this process, of this normalization process, in my opinion. Another topic is the normalization between Iran and Saudi Arabia. This is very important for all of the region, and Turkey shouldn't be left out of this process. Undoubtedly, the plans regarding the possibilities of this are ready in the bag of Erdogan and the sapling. The last issue is Yemen. United Nations and Stoltenberg initiatives were effective last year. At the end of the war last year, a 6-month ceasefire revived hopes. Whether it will end, the war in Yemen will end or not, Turkey should focus on this issue as well. So the relations between Saudi Arabia is very crucial. So Saudi-Iran normalization, also another topic I told. Turkey shouldn't stay out of normalization process. Also, I think Turkey gets some benefits between the competition in the Gulf countries, United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. Today, we read in Wall Street Journal, it describes the situation between two Gulf countries, defined as frenemies, friend and also enemies. It was very interesting, especially in the Gulf. Economic competition comes to the fore. The last opinion for me, the war in Ukraine, when Russia is in a deadlock and Iran-Saudi normalization is discussing, it can offer new opportunities in Syria and Egypt issues. In Turkish media, we saw that Erdoğan may share some information about the Sweden's NATO membership process, despite the Swedish Quran burning incident. Also, United States elections are approaching. Some of the Gulf countries made a lot of forces during the Trump era, and it wasn't exactly like that. But in the next year's elections, we will see Trump can come back or Biden will keep working in the seat. Actors in the region are also strengthening their positions before these elections. We will see what will happen at the end of this Erdoğan's tour.
Okay, Yusuf, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We appreciate your analysis and time.
You're welcome.
China.